Alright, guys.
Alright, here's lasagna. Here's lasagna. Here's lasagna. Alright, let's roll. Lasagna's the Texans.
First before he's taken down at the 29.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
A first down carry by Elliott. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Charles, pretty obvious that at this point, Zeke, he's going to, no pun intended, run away with a rushing title this season.
Seriously, did you just say no pun intended?
Everyone always says it's not intended, but it's always intended. It was intended.
It's intended. It's just like when someone says no disrespect. Prepare to be disrespected.
Right, yeah.
You know it's coming.
I intended the pun.
You intended the pun. 159 yards and a touchdown. How great was Zeke in that game? Setting everything up for Dallas, taking on the big carries, and carrying them home to a victory against Tampa Bay.
That one goes for 24 yards. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Second down now after the pass completion. A second down throw for Prescott, eluding the pressure right. Drops it underneath to Elliott, and he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Prescott out of first down.
1st and 10.
Right side here, complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Love the effort, love the dramatics, getting the feet down. How about a little step shuffle along the sideline there, almost like a great ballet dancer or a tap dancer. All for no gain, though?
I was going to say, it's so pretty, and it gets you nothing. Prescott down. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and it's 3rd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He completes it to Bryant. He got 29 yards that time. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd and goal. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Flush to his right. This is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time, and it brings up fourth down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And it appears they'll go for it here on fourth down. A big call on the game's opening drive. Running with Elliott. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And it's a short kick taken right around the 19. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line. On first down, Savage. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bernardrick McKinney in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Third and long for Prescott. When this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They take over first and 10 following the interception. After the interception, here's Savage. And this one complete to Will Fuller. Give them 13 on the pickup there. And the Texans are going to have a first. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes out.
And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety.
Looking for his tight end, Witten, and it's intercepted. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism, because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. And his kick is good. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And it's a short kick taken right around the 19. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. They'll start the drive with Elliott. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down. On third down, it's Prescott. He's going to go up top again. He's got it at the 15. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dez Bryant, 70 yards. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team. An unsuccessful attempt at the two-point conversion, and it was a triple option play, and they chose option one, handing it to the fullback, and that's not normal.
And sometimes you just miss your read key, right?
Yeah, I think so, and sometimes they actually call that, thinking that maybe everyone will bypass the fullback going out to the tailback or the quarterback, but in this case, they overwhelmed him and stopped him.
And now out comes Houston. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was fun.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And to the 43. So down inside the 45. To the 43-yard line, that's where they'll take over. So that... That is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Dez Bryant, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
I'm not quite sure how he wasn't able to hold on to that one in the end zone. A great opportunity lost, but a lot of relief for the defensive guys. When they get into film next week, they're going to want to know what happened. Where was the breakdown that almost allowed a touchdown?
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. They go play action here on first down. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
And now out comes Houston. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, A lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So that's the word from the referee. Neutral zone infraction, 5 yards.
And, of course, the defense is always pointing at the offense about how they drew them across. Flag goes against the defenders on that one.
Out of the gun, Savage. Complete to Mumphrey. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Offense readies for a 2nd and 1. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So you heard the word. This is a neutral zone infraction.
Yeah, the defender wanted to try and get back after he had jumped, unable to do so.
A first down throw coming. Savage. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
They come up in an offset eye. On 2nd down, Elliott. And some space here. Past the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has... Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Well, partner, recently we've had a lot of MVP discussions. Here's the thing I wanted to ask you. A guy like David Johnson having a great year, but his team's below 500. Should he be able to win the MVP award?
Personally, I think so. I think what always hurts a guy like David Johnson in that position is if you have other people having monster years as well. So for a lot of voters, the tiebreaker is who's having a better team season. And that's what ends up eliminating guys like David Johnson. Despite the year he's having, in any normal deal, David Johnson will be one of the top 2 guys for the MVP race.
On third down, Osweiler. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on fourth. Osweiler trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. 10th carry now for Elliott. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go. And now they're in the hurry-up. Prescott now from the 50. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. So a big roughing the passer penalty, Charles, and of course that's 15 yards.
And everyone knows how protected the quarterbacks are. You've got to make sure that when you launch at a quarterback that you're hitting him in the right spot and in the right time.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Here's Prescott. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of... that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It'll wind up being a huge loss on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. On 4th, they do snap it to Prescott. And this is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted that you feel like you already have. Be aggressive, go after it, and try and get those points.
Well, he just threw an interception last drive, nearly another pick.
And things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's got a difference driving on those paved roads.
Open, Mumphrey, touchdown, Houston. Keith Mumphrey, as the first half is winding down, and the Texans draw a bit closer.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. And this is back to a 5-point game. Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men.
Alright guys, we're back. I'm here with James the Girl, also known as
Lasagna.
I'm bringing you this game. It's been a very close game so far, as you guys have seen.
Can we get a pick six right here? On the six.
Des Bryant and Dak Prescott have been
They
the
come out with one back and 3 tight ends.
game savers.
He's got time in the pocket.
Dak
He's going to loft
sees
one
Des
deep
out
inside
downfield
here.
with a beautiful. Oh, and he dropped
Got
it.
hit.
He
Ball
dropped the
comes out
pass.
incomplete.
On every
That should
offensive
have been a good
coordinator,
catch by
every play caller sheet,
Des Bryant.
they have about 5 or 6 plays per game.
We'll try this pass
Shot
play.
plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
One man in the backfield, Elliott. Now they'll run it on the toss. They juked him. And he's going to be taken down here. As that will lead us to the
We will bring you back to the game right now.
report. Apparently, we are set for the third quarter of action already.
For the kickoff by Dan Bailey.
Both teams have
Here it
their
is.
marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. On the return, here comes Keith Mumphrey.
Oh, they're taking out their own players out here, guys.
So I can't even complain right now. It's 14-19. Knew nothing about 6 interceptions.
Now Osweiler on first down. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off Byron Jones. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. And heading back onto the field now, the Texans defense.
I tell you, you don't have press conferences when you sign guys like this. But he's been a real difference maker so far. That's now 2 interceptions for him in the game. And when you're getting contributions up and down your 53-man roster, you're going to be all right.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
Brandon, I think the NFL in recent years made an absolute brilliant tactical decision, and that was to move a lot of the divisional games to the end of the year in hopes that it would mean something. And, you know, remember at that time it was, hey, we don't want people to rest players down the stretch. Well, I think it's worked brilliantly because we've got some big-time games potentially showing up here at the end of 2016.
Adds intrigue in some big games. Intrigue also, though, because even if you've got 2 teams that maybe are having bad seasons, they're usually rivals, and that helps at the game.
It certainly does. Helps in a lot of ways, even if you're not playing for a playoff spot. As you said, if you're a rival, it still gets the interest of the fans.
Prescott looks to throw on first.
Whoa!
Collision there jarred the ball and brings up second down.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well. And he didn't get that done on that play.
From the pistol, here's Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs.
That goes it up to Des. That is a completion.
That
On the
one
1
goes
yard
for
line.
29
And Houston
yards
Texans
on
did not.
3rd down. Red zone opportunity. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing.
There it is.
Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott punching it in from a yard away. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. What a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, he's got him in the lead.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When he'd line up, go ahead and, oh, there's a fake, and now he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk-reward, it's just not there.
It's so risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Well, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but let's go back to a reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. Last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
That's going to be another pick.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Barry Church. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between.
This pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Quentin Demps. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. And that was a young pup, the rookie, being intercepted by a veteran DB.
And I loved our quick conversation in pregame with him on the field, where he said, hey, look, I love playing these young quarterbacks. They don't know a whole lot yet, so I can use my mind to put me in a position to make a play.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception.
Oh, my God.
Just when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window.
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Don't want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. This one complete. It's C.J. Fedorowicz. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And his
Another
pass is
fucking
intercepted for the
Another
4th
pick.
time today. Picked off by the
Shoot for
linebacker.
every defensive back here today.
Interceptions that
8 turnovers. That is 4 interceptions for Brock Osweiler and 4 for Tom Savage.
Sean Lee.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. That's another great play to come away with the football.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, Prescott. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
What part do they run empty set there? No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
He's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Trying to shake off the interception. Touchdown, Houston. Keith Mumphrey, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. And this will get out of bounds. No worries there, though. That still goes as a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. Let's see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Flushed out right. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. So the flag is for the very rare illegal forward pass penalty.
Not often that a quarterback forgets where the line of scrimmage is. They have an innate sense about it. On this play, the quarterback did.
Third and long for Prescott. He's got time. He'll be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Whitney merciless. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. Coming in to drop it for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
You can stop.
They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle.
Des with a beautiful catch.
Damn, dude, drop that shot. I had that.
On 4th and long. And even 60 yards.
And they pick up the first down on a 4th down play. I don't know if the defense relaxed because they thought maybe they'd stop them on 3rd down or if they just didn't protect the sticks very well. But, boy, that's a big-time pickup right there.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
2nd down, Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Whitney merciless. In there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
If I could hold you up, I'll fucking throw me that ball and that shit in.
There's Prescott.
Oh, I did have
He couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
So many offense want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out and check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Very bad kick by him.
The defense for the Cowboys getting set to go. Obviously a close game from the defensive standpoint. Maybe don't want to blow it too much out of proportion, but how important is this drive?
I think it's huge for them because they've got to find a way to help
They
out
got
their
a big
offense,
hit when
whether
Brock
it's
Osweiler
doing it
was
themselves,
on.
taking the ball away and scoring, or setting their offense up in a good position to give them a chance to fully be back in this game.
Well, sometimes that defense triggers the offense. We'll see. Again on 2nd and 10 now. It's Osweiler. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down.
That was.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
On third down, Osweiler. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. And a nice gain of 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot.
Houston. Keith Mumphrey.
The Dallas ain't shit.
And the Texans have once again taken the lead.
And that third counter there gives them the lead, and it's obvious they've needed everything that he's given them today. The 3 touchdowns, that's impressive, but without him, they're not winning this game.
And this is no good. It's a missed extra point. Back now in Arlington, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. No back out now to kick this one away. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say,
in trouble here, down he goes. Back at the 8.
Guys, I have a question. How do you not challenge fans? How do you challenge when you go in?
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
and that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. You took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
I think I'd give it to him. I don't know.
Well, they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13.
Lance Dunbar with the
Able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Oh, yeah, because he ran that
From
like that.
this vantage point, that seems like a pretty dangerous call, running a toss that close to your own goal line. I think what they were hoping is that they were going to get some pressure from the defensive front and maybe beat him to the corner and then turn upfield with a lot of yardage to
Why the
run.
fuck are you kicking it?
Take it in at the 22. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Texans take possession. And here comes the Texans now. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back.
And look at this. They get the turnover.
I do feel confident, nigga.
Picked off by Brandon Cole. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. He then gets it with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Bryant, the lone receiver, left. Prescott steps away to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side.
Oh,
Beasley, the
bullshit.
intended target. And it'll bring up 3rd down. That was close to a big play. Just a little bit too far that he was led. He caught him but couldn't stay in bounds, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not very good at these sort of things, but I have to believe the farther you are downfield, the less your margin for error in throwing the ball, correct?
Yeah.
Go,
So they
baby,
gave
go.
a good effort there. Really tried.
Yo! Yo!
He gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A big play there on the keeper. 30 yards.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
How you gonna let me do that to you?
They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott.
Oh, no!
That is.
In the air, too.
And they had it there so close to the goal line, a chance to take it across, claim the lead here in the fourth. Boy, that was a big, big mistake.
It really was, and as much as I want to give credit to the defense for making a play, I do tend to agree with you. That mistake, that's a chance to go in and take the lead. I mean, you're in great shape, yet you don't take care of the football. But they'll be going over that like crazy in the upcoming weeks.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Osweiler. And incomplete.
How about that force ball?
That's right, Sean Lee. Get on your feet and do that, boy. You have right to, nigga.
Whenever I see an in-route drop,
fuck's coming
as we
here,
just
boy?
saw on that play,
How about that force
I'm
ball?
always thinking in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having...
Add that to another one. Add that to another one.
So we have a guest speaker here today. His name is James Legrado. We're going to ask him how many picks he has thrown. How many picks have you thrown all game?
About 11.
Is that what's your grade point average?
3.5.
Is that how many centimeters your dick is?
Dalton.
Yeah, the guys that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre. I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
Oh, my
Flushed to his
God.
right. There's some room to work. Nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
About
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second
my
read
grade
wasn't
point
there.
average is about as wide as your girlfriend's pussy, 7 inches.
Out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
And now the offense operates in the red zone. They go back to Elliott. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Just for you, baby.
Bryant, the lone receiver, left. And here's another interception. Picked off by Quentin Dibs. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All right, guys, let's go.
The interception
Need to stop here,
woes, they just
defense. Need to
continue
stop
to
here.
mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things.
This ain't 2 hands, touch, boy. Let's
It comes
go.
back to the guy throwing them.
A nice run there, 9 yards.
Come on, Miller, should
And
we
it'll be
get-
second
That's
down.
his first time on the
I
field.
know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the fourth.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
On second down, here's Miller. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Time for a break. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now it's Miller. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the
And
sideline.
they're usually loud and big. This is Miller.
Maybe my team wasn't trying to play 2-hand touch out here in an NFL
Lamar
game.
Miller. He's at the 30. And all the way down to the 17 Huge play there for Houston. 51 yards. So a spectacular run, but not his career long that he had of 97. That was December 14, I believe.
97 yards. That's obviously why they run the type of sprints they run in the offseason. Longer than that to build up the lung capacity.
And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you got to feel good about your chances.
So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And Lamar Miller caps it off with a
Texans are going to pull out. Kind of like how I put out your mother last night.
It's a short kick taken out to
Because
the
I don't need no kids. I'm only 17 years old.
25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out.
By the way, this man lost his virginity in a car.
This is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there. Well, to say that this has not been his game is probably a big understatement. I mean, he is all over the place. Mechanics are off, not accurate, except if you're playing on defense, because they picked off a good number of passes.
Yeah, all the INTs, but they're throwing it off his back foot. Pressure coming, just chucking it downfield. He can't do that right now.
No, you can't do that at all. And I think one of the hardest things for a guy having a day like this one is to find a way to just kind of get out of it, kind of get yourself back to neutral. Because what you try and do is make even more spectacular plays to make up for it, and it usually leads to more bad ones.
Flushed out right. He's going to let it fly. And that one incomplete. Had some position, but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
They'll run it with Elliott.
I'm not sure.
Damn.
The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Texans are going to win a football game. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, that's the old expression about
That was a very good game. Hard work,
They're down to none.
Yes, exactly.
tears,
And now out comes
everything, you know.
2 timeouts remaining defensively.
We're gonna
but
give it to
that
him.
shouldn't make much
We'll be
difference
back
right here.
It really
probably
shouldn't,
2 weeks
but
from
a
now
lot of
for
coaches
another
look
game.
at it similar to baseball with the intent.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, that's one of those mistakes.
Boda scored that, right?
When they get to the
Yeah.
sidelines, I know you're mad, coach, but look, we've still got this locked down, but that's not necessarily true, is it?
You know, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
Forced out to his left.
God damn.
Across the 45 before he's brought down. 18 yards on the pickup there. And that leads to a Dallas first down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. Two teams talking over on their respective sidelines. We take a break. One last shot now for Prescott.
And we're gonna call that for a face mask or a horse collar. They don't know what we're gonna call it yet. Face mask call in the game. And that is the game, guys. Actually, we're gonna get one more play. We're gonna watch this instant replay of him getting the sack.
Trying to duke him out. And he turns and...
Damn.
Yeet,
Zoom in on it. Hit square.
Up.
Keep. Damn. All right, guys, and we're going to do this last play and get it over with. That is 56 minutes. And we're going to give James what he wanted. And he couldn't make it a hard hit. So, and that is the game. Jason Garrett doesn't look very happy. Guys, thank you for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. We're going to we're gonna start doing Madden mobile videos. If you want to join our league, we all both got 99 overall teams. We both got the 95 Ezekiel Elliott New Year's pack players. So just hit us up. Thank you. Have a good day.